Hi all, welcome. Let's talk about starting the new year out with a bang. Okay, so what does this even mean? This was just a fun topic. So what does this even mean to start the new year out with a bang? And what would you recommend to read?
I know I had to ask you. I was like, what qualifies? So I don't know about you guys, but most of my things are in sort of the like mystery thriller realm.
Yeah, I went a little heavy on adrenaline, but then I thought some people might want to start the new year with like a soft bang. So I worked in a couple of like slightly gentler titles
Is
to
that a
represent.
thing? Is soft bang really a thing? I don't
Soft bang, sure.
It's the little gun with the flag that comes out that
That's
says
right.
bang.
Boop.
know. All right. Who wants to start?
Can start.
Go
Or
ahead.
Go for it.
Um, so I have it on my phone. The Bells. If you haven't read Dhonielle Clayton's awesome, is it trilogy or has she done? I
I
know
only
she's done
read the
two.
first one, so I don't know.
I think it's
Okay.
a trilogy, but the third one's not yet published.
The third one's not yet. Yeah. Okay. I just immediately thought of it because I was thinking of New Year's and sort of
Mhm.
being glamorous and lush and fabulous. And the
Mhm.
Bells is all about being glamorous and lush and fabulous because it's dystopia, but the prettiest dystopia you've ever seen. Because the power that people use and you find out abuse to a certain degree is they have the ability to make things beautiful. Some people do not have this power, and so they, everybody's born kind of gray and bland, and they have to find someone who is a belle to make them beautiful, and that gives the bells a lot of leverage and a lot of power. But then you find out there's all this sort of like political infighting and intrigue, but then the descriptions of the outfits and the people, it's just such a gorgeous book. But it also has that, it's like pretty Hunger Games. I don't know.
Also, like The Uglies by Scott Westerfeld,
It is like the Uglies,
but like glam. So
but
like
glam. Yeah,
The Uglies is not glam.
the Uglies is not glam, and the Uglies made me angry for a number of reasons. But we will have that discussion another time. So, what do you guys have on your list?
I will show, let's see. I'm gonna screen share hopefully my cover here real quick for you. So this one is called Spin by, are you seeing it?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm not seeing it, but it's called Spin by Lamar Giles. And the cover actually has that, I'm gonna stop sharing, that sort of like glam look to it. But it is a really pretty intense mystery. So the main character, well, not really main character, there's a girl who's like an up and coming DJ musical artist known as DJ Parsec, and she is found murdered, like kind of laying over her DJ equipment at this sort of impromptu party by a young woman who like used to be her childhood best friend and another girl who has been like a super fan, who's the person who coined the like hashtag DJ Parsec kind of thing. And has been her like social media manager. And the two girls get brought into custody and interviewed about whether or not like what they know about the situation. And they end up working together to try and solve the murder. One, because they don't trust that the police are actually going to try real hard to investigate the murder of a Black girl. And two, because there is this like creepy, like dark side of the fan base who like wear masks and go around, like they got kidnapped off the street by these creepy fans who were like, you better solve this murder because otherwise we think you did it. So they go on this crazy kind of not adventure exactly, because it's suspenseful, but in sort of like a dark kind of way. It's a really neat mix of mystery, suspense, but also like social commentary as well.
Awesome. I've heard good things too about the newest Lamar Giles that came out. And of course, I can't think of the name right now. It's his newest book and it's gotten good buzz. I'm not being rude. I'm looking it up.
No worries. Yeah, I don't know which one you're talking about, but I've read a couple of others of his that I quite like. He does really nice mysteries, and it's pretty much always characters of color, which is cool because you don't always see that in the mystery world. So
Mhm.
yeah.
It's true. And there's some really there's just actually a lot of really good books right now with people of color as like the main characters and protagonists, and their publishing industry is finally moving away from like the gritty urban, gritty Gritterson type books into something like that reflects people.
Yeah, that's kind of what I liked about the Bells was,
Right?
you know, they're characters of color, and it's about being beautiful and glamorous, and it, you know, it's normalizing beauty as not just white, which
Mhm.
I think we need to do. So it's
But-
not so pure and simple as the book I was
Okay.
thinking of, and I don't think it's a mystery. I think he's doing something
right.
different.
Kim, what's on your list for New Year with a Bang?
So in terms of mystery, I was thinking about kind of a classic middle grade mystery, Theodore Boone Kid Lawyer by John Grisham.
I didn't know he did middle grade books.
Yeah, so this is like the older edge of middle grade. It's definitely middle school, like that. It's definitely like that grade. But this is a little bit older, like it was first published in 2010. But in this book, there is a murderer about to go free, and it is up to a 13-year-old to solve the crime and to solve a mystery. And John Grisham is a classic like adult crime thriller, legal drama mystery writer. And so I was just thinking, this is actually pretty decent. And there's been a like with the Enola Holmes series on Netflix. Like I feel like it's time to rekindle the like the love of the middle grade detective. So yeah, Theodore Boone Kid Lawyer.
Cool.
Kind of sticking with sort of, mine's less a mystery and more a heist, which cracks me up because I just watched an episode of Rick and Morty, which students, you're not old enough to watch, but it totally made fun of like heist movies and how they all have the same plot. And I'm like, oh, but I really liked Six of Crows. Is that on your list?
Oh, it's not on this, but it's on every list because
it's on every list. Yeah, I mean, I love Leigh Bardugo's, you know, the first trilogy, and it's romantic and dark, and Miss Mesher and I have to talk about why I have problems because I like the Darkling better than the best friend, who is clearly the better choice, but something, you know, just dark and bad boyish. But Six of Crows, it's set in the Grishaverse, but I loved like Kaz he's the main character, and he walks around kind of looking like he's a damaged soul, but then he really unites these misfits, but they're all going to steal something. So it has that whole heist excitement, but then I love how Bardugo takes it to a personal level, because each character has something going on. Like, there's one character who can't resist, like if you dare him to do something, he's gonna do it. And then there's another character that Kaz, I think I called him Baz. They have like a romantic tension, and it's just, I really thought I'm this was going to be her next thing, but she only did it as a duology. So,
but there's a spin-off series that kind of unites the two.
Everything all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I just like, she can do no wrong in the Grishaverse as far as I'm concerned. But yeah,
Also,
the fun of this duology, and I heard it described as Ocean's 11 meets whatever, and it's just so great, and all the characters have such good backstories.
Right.
Like, nobody is in there for fluff. They all have reasons to be in there, and it's just so good.
Right. I think Rick and Morty would approve, because it solves the problem of the repetitive heist plot line by being character driven, which is amazing. So
also, there's a spin-off called The Book of Saints that just came out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I saw that came out. I didn't know what it was, though.
It's short stories. It's
awesome.
It's a quick read. It's gorgeously illuminated, and
Ooh.
it's so, it's full geekdom. But
And theoretically, there's a Netflix show coming.
but when?
Like, pandemic, did you ruin it? I don't know.
Also, I don't want it to be bad. Like,
I know.
Okay, but the Bardugo verse, like, I think Bardugo fans would like Deception, the Remnant Chronicles.
Yeah.
Like, so I was originally thinking just sticking with mystery thriller suspense for starting the year with a bang, but also reinventing yourself. And like the first chapter of this book, she's like, forget this societal expectation, I'm piecing out. So I think reinventing yourself is part of starting the year out with a bang. So Remnant Chronicles.
That is a really good point, and weirdly connects with this book that I was going to share, even though it's totally different from, like, it's not a fantasy at all, but it definitely has that like reinvention thing going on. Again, I'm going to share my screen again here for a second so you can see it. All eyes on us. Are you guys seeing that?
I am.
Okay, hit Frick. So it's totally mystery, but it's told in 2 points of view. One of the girls is the daughter of this family that like everybody thinks is really wealthy, but in fact they're having severe money trouble, and like they're sort of hanging their hopes as a family on her marrying her long-term boyfriend, who's the son of the like super rich family who lives across the street. But things are not going so great, and she knows that like he is a cheater and has like cheated on her multiple times, and basically her mom says like you just have to put up with that. The other person telling the story is the girl that this boy is like currently cheating on his girlfriend with. What he doesn't know is that she, I think her name is Rosalie, is using him as a cover because she's actually gay, but her family is part of this very conservative religious group that like if they knew she was gay, they would throw her out or like try and convert her, and like it was this really kind of awful situation. So she's dating this like cute boy as a like cover for her own situation. But they both start getting anonymous texts from somebody telling them that they need to like break up with this boy and do it in a super public way that really embarrasses him. And they end up having to like team up and figure out what's going on, even though like there's this tension between them because of the like boy who's like in the middle of it all. But yeah, it takes a really interesting turn. I would say it's in the sort of like Pretty Little Liars-ish. But has some interesting stuff going on with the girl and her family and like being your true self and like being public with who your true self is, right? And what that means and what the repercussions of that can be.
Well, it's amazing. We did not discuss any of this ahead of time. And my next book, speaking of fake dating, is Frankly in Love.
You guys could, or David Yoon?
Yeah. By David Yoon, which Ms. Gunn mentioned books that she's excited about. I have not yet read his new one, Super Fake Love Song, but it is on
at the library.
Oh, yeah, you must tell me because that's one I'm really looking forward to. And yes, this is one I'd call my soft bang of the new year because it's a love story, but it is it has that sort of fake dating plot too, where Frank, the main character, his family is a pretty traditional Korean family. His parents, anyway. He's not. He's very Americanized, but his parents want him to date a girl that they are friends with the parents and they feel they're a good match and everything. So they fake date so that Frank can date the non-Korean girl that he really cares about. And there are lots of twists and turns, but the thing I love about it is so romantic and so funny, but yet also talks about like racism and talks about, how when you're Korean American, you're kind of like stuck between two cultures sometimes that are at war with each other. And I love this book because I could think about things that deserve to be thought about, heavy topics, but still like also feel like I was watching a nice little rom-com while I was reading it. It's a warm book. And I think David Yoon is very warm, and I love his real life relationship. I love when two geeky authors fall in love. I think that's amazing. But anyway, Nicola Yoon, for those of you who didn't know.
Nicola Yoon wrote Good Enough, which is about the being Korean American and dealing with family like expectations and are you good enough and living up. So yeah. Is it Nicola Yoon? Yeah.
I think that's actually somebody else.
No,
that's Follow You.
She did the Sun.
Yeah,
she's also a
and everything.
Yes. The other one that I was okay. Yes. Sorry. Too many Yoons on my shelf. Which no, that's not true.
Never enough.
Never enough.
Never enough.
Anything that I have a couple things, I don't know if we're ready to move to this, that I actually haven't read yet, but I'm looking forward to reading in the new year. If that counts.
Sure.
Totally.
Let's see. Okay, so the first one, I'm definitely sticking with my mystery theme.
Oh yeah.
Karen McManus, author of One of Us is Lying and Two Can Keep a Secret or something like that. This is her new book called The Cousins that, to be perfectly honest, I know absolutely nothing about, but it's her and I'm excited and I think the cover looks cool. And this one is, okay, this one's kind of silly. Here's what I have on, I just put on hold at the library last night.
No, that looks amazing.
Okay, Daphne and Velma. I'm going to try and stop sharing if I can get back over here. Yeah, isn't that look hilarious? Vanishing Girl. And I read some reviews of it today, and people, maybe it's just folks my age who have a nostalgic thing about watching Scooby-Doo when they were kids, but like people are giving it really good reviews, and it's actually like a really good mystery. So I'm super excited.
That's awesome. Did you by any chance read the adult book, Those Meddling Kids?
No.
Oh, it's not the Scooby-Doo gang, but like every character has a parallel, and it's just like this over-the-top take on like that, but as an adult plot line with strangely some HP Lovecraftian things thrown in. It's bizarre, it's bonkers, but entertaining.
And what about you? What do you got?
That's wonderful. Okay. My next one's, I mean, compared to like all these like wonderful mysteries and exciting things, I'm like, oh, I don't know. A Night Divided by Jennifer Nielsen.
Oh.
So
I don't know that one.
This is about the like overnight appearance of the Berlin Wall, splitting Berlin in half. And so like Goethe wakes up one night and the Berlin Wall is like outside of her window, and her family, like her brother and dad, are gone, and their mom is stuck, and they're stuck in East Berlin and with Soviets, and she's like, I don't know what the heck is going on. And so like, and they try to get out, like, and it's about like trying to get out from East Berlin. So
no, I mean, I have a historical one and a middle grade that's a little bit older. I don't know if you guys read The Detective's Assistant.
Oh yes.
And it's fictional. It's based in history, just like Miss Mesher, but her book, but it's a little lighter because it's about the first woman member of the Pinkertons, but it's told from the point of view of, I believe, a fictitious niece who ends up helping her solve some mysteries. And, there's the famous Pinkerton stop of the plot to assassinate Abraham Lincoln. And this is kind of based in that, but it's full of girl power. And I just feel like if you're like someone who really likes The War Who Saved My Life or that kind of history, you'd really enjoy The Detective's Assistant, because it's kind of, I don't know, it's endearing and a little bit fun. So
there's a really good steampunk, or a really fun steampunk series that came out a couple years ago about Pinkertons, and I'm trying to remember the name. Like, I'm sitting here like, this is my thinking face. I can't remember. This is one of the things that's hard with working from home. If this was, we were at school, I would just go pull it off the shelf and be like, oh yeah, this is it.
The one that I'm thinking of isn't a series, but there's a book called Ripper. by, I think his name is Stephen Petrucha. I'd have to look it up, but it's like the Pinkerton agency is involved, but it's also a like play on Jack the Ripper, and that this character who somebody from the Pinkerton agency like pulls out of an orphanage in New York is like maybe the son of Jack the Ripper, and maybe Jack the Ripper is in New York killing people. That's an older book, but it's really cool. It has a neat cover too.
Well, then that goes along with like I Hunt Killers, right? Like,
so good. It's so disturbing.
I Killers.
I do. I kept nominating it for the Maryland Author Award, and everybody on the committee is like, no, it's too dark. So like, but that's what makes it good.
I know. I debated on is that mystery or is it horror? It's one of those that like rides the line.
Well, I think with that one, it's like book 1 it would be mystery and book 2 is horror. Like I feel like it crosses at
it does.
And then I think book 3 is just I don't have it in our school library.
Oh really? That's too bad.
I don't in middle school library.
Right. Yeah.
We'll check it out for you from the high school. It's okay.
Yeah. We'll have it when they're ready.
Excellent.
So Pinkertons. Dread Nation has Pinkertons.
Yeah.
Weirdly. I mean, like, and also weirdly it's steampunk. Also, Dread Nation is awesome. And talks about like you know, Black joy and like reinventing some character norms. I don't know.
And zombies.
And you know, putting things in horror that were truly horrific. So, you know, I mean, you know, we talk about genres and stuff, and we have that Padlet where students can put their recommendations under different genres, but it's so hard because a lot of our favorite books, I think, kind of genre bend and jump between genres, and it, I mean, it's awesome, but at the same time it's like I can't categorize this for you.
Well, and then adventure, like it's like everything,
right? Everything is adventurous. I did have one more to get back to the bang. Again, another oldie but goodie, The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black, because you know somebody needed to resurrect the vampire story in a good way, and Holly Black does everything in a good way.
Leigh Bardugo fans might like Holly Black, right? Like I think
that is true.
Crossover right there.
That is true.
All right, I got one more that weirdly also has a vampire related thing. It's actually a book that I am reading right now, and so I haven't finished it and I don't know where it's going to go. But now entering Adamsville by Francesca Zappia. It is definitely a crossover, like mystery supernatural kind of thing, because it's a young woman who can see ghosts in her town. And some people can feel the ghosts, some people can hear the ghosts, but she is trying to like protect this town from a demon that she refers to as a fire starter, but everybody thinks she's the one starting the fires. So of course that's kind of problematic. So we'll see where it goes if she's able to save the day.
And I see Ms. Carlson's about to come in. So while we're waiting for Ms. Carlson, I've got 2 nonfiction books to highlight.
Oh.
This is
so good. I forget about nonfiction.
I do too.
This is taking Start the New Year Out with a Bang in a whole different direction, folks.
Okay.
Mini Weapons of Mass Destruction. It is Mini Weapons of Mass Destruction. It is how to build and make like mini weapons using it's a series. There's 5 books. Using like household objects like paper clips and clothespins and staples and rubber bands. And so we've been currently making a ballista with plastic forks and rubber bands and pen parts.
For the record, as a parent, you're saying this is okay.
Yeah, like, I was gonna say, are you
gonna blow up your house or anything?
Are you fueling sibling wars for the next several years? Because I'm an old lady and I want to read it and now shoot things at my siblings who are much older than I am. So
book 3 is about siege weapons from the Dark Ages. One of them is spy weapons, like stick a gun up at your sleeve spy weapons. Like these are seriously fun.
That's cool. This is your daughter's jam, isn't it?
And my son. Well, my
And
daughter
your son
loves
too?
them because she wants to build weapons, but my son loves them because he's like, ooh, look at what I get to like medieval nerdy history stuff.
You know what they say, it's all fun and games until someone loses an eye.
Well, yeah, but I mean, when you wear eye protection, hi.
Well, medieval weapons, medieval eyewear.
Ooh, I like it.
So, and then and then actually any makerspace book like takes things to a whole different level. So makerspace outdoors, like about building like bottle rockets and taking some of your creations outside. But I was just thinking, what else? Starting the year off with a bang, like what else could that be? Like it's so many things. Miss Carlson, what do you have? Hi.
I can't, there's just no way that I can go beyond that. I mean, come on, weaponry.
Well, we started out with mysteries. We've had a rom-com, so like,
Yeah,
don't
we've
worry.
got a little bit of everything. Some
our-
historical fiction.
Exactly. Bring it on.
Talk some book nerd to us. We like
Yeah.
it.
I'm stunned. I have nothing. I really have nothing.
It's fair.
I might come up with something later on, but right now I'm drawing a complete blank.
Oh, it's all right.
It's because I blinded you with nonfiction makerspace.
You blinded me with science.
Indeed.
I mean, all I can think of right now is Die Hard.
Which, by the way, Illuminate is Die Hard in
Greatest
space.
Christmas movie ever.
It's the best Christmas movie ever. I will go to my grave defending that one. But Illuminate by Christoph and Hoffman is Die Hard in space plus zombies.
Well, you can't do anything without a zombie these days.
And artificial intelligence.
Thank you. That's the words I was looking for. I was like, what's the computer thing? Yeah.
And it's a terrible audiobook. Like, don't read that one as an audiobook. That one is read it in print. Ebook is okay, but
you have to because of the different formats. So you can get like, this is a dossier and this is a.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you can throw your Die Hard trivia at us. We can find you a book, Miss Carlson.
Mm-hmm. But also we're taking books with a bang all over the place. So don't feel inhibited by that, because I tried to pass off the phrase, what about a soft bang, and was totally called out for that doesn't exist. That's oxymoronic or just moronic. I don't know which. It's just like no.
World War Z.
Yes. Talk about zombies.
World War Z. And Brooks has got a new book out, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. While you're chit-chatting, I'll look it up because it's in my save list on Amazon.
I heard him interviewed as
somebody
who had knowledge about how to survive a pandemic because of his research for World War Z.
Yeah, he actually works for a think tank that is very well known. Well, it's, in higher circles. He is actually quite a strategist. His father is Mel Brooks, right?
Yes, I did know
that.
I didn't know
that. He's the youngest of a number of children. He was like the one that they weren't expecting.
There's always one.
There's always one. Yes.
While you're thinking, there is a really pretty good survival nonfiction book called How to Survive the Zombie Apocalypse.
Yes, I know that one.
Like, those two go really well together.
All right, friends, I'm sorry to say, but I need to leave you for another obligation. But it was fun talking books with a bang with y'all.
It was. Happy New Year to you, Miss Gunn.
And you all as well.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
It's called Devolution. It's the first-hand account of the Rainier Sasquatch Massacre.
Wow.
And it's got a fairly decent looking cover. It has sort of like like a kind of a white with greenish background and a big red foot on it.
Do you want to share your screen
Pretty cool.
real fast so we can see it?
Yeah, I can share it. let's see here. I can't stay too much longer. I've got things I got to get done today.
That's fair. That's all
Let's see here. I just remembered this. There it is right there. Do you see it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, there it is.
Did it show up?
Ooh, that is
There it is.
cool.
That is
Yeah,
very
and I
cool.
had it on my, I thought I had it on my list and I can't seem to find it. So I don't know what happened. Maybe my husband found it and bought it for me. So for Christmas, I'm not
Very
going to
nice.
say though, I don't know. It's one of those things you can never know, but I got to add it to my wish list because I want to read it.
You should.
My internet connection is unstable, so expect a lack of stability here.
That's
All
okay.
right. But anyway, yeah, that looks pretty good. I mean, anything with Sasquatch and P&W is good by me.
World War Z is also written as a faux nonfiction. It's,
Yes.
Mhm.
So
It's like a docudrama.
yeah, like it's one that you want to pay attention to on print. Like,
Yeah. I need to go back and actually reread it because the Yonkers scene was one of my favorites where they're pretty much toast. You know, the zombies, they learn to move pretty quickly. There's another book like that. What was the one? Blood Dog was the second one. Hater, that was the name of it.
I don't know.
By a British author. It's kind of it's a horror sci-fi apocalyptic menagerie in which you see things from the point of view of the zombies.
Oh,
The
wow.
people, it was a very popular book. I put it in the library at Tyee and it was extremely popular. A lot of kids, like, you know, those like darker things, liked it because from the point of view of the lead character, who was a man who was changing, they saw everything else as, they saw other people as different and that they were normal, and they didn't understand why they had this super speed and super strength, but the other they could sense each other, kind of like, you know, like a sense, not smell per se, but like a sense.
Mhm.
But then they would feel like the other people didn't like them or hated them and wanted to hurt them, so they would lash out first. And they would, of course, you know, do things in gruesome and awful ways.
Mhm.
But the book kind of ended in a cliffhanger where the man rescues his daughter from his wife, because his wife is not one of them, but his daughter is.
oh,
Oh, interesting.
And the government, this is all taking place in Britain, by the way, in London. And so by the end of the book, I mean, I'm not really giving a lot away, but obviously it kind of leaves on a cliffhanger to kind of sweep into the next book, which I have. I just haven't really read it. I waited so long for it that I gave it up.
I'm going to screen share really quick a cover because that reminds me of this book, Zombie by Darren Shan.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I love that
yeah.
book.
So like also first person perspective. Yeah, so I love how we started this conversation out with mysteries and we're on zombies right now.
Zombies. Yeah.
Because-
Bang.
Well,
Dang, exactly.
Bang.
can't get any better than zombies. I don't
That's
know. I like
true.
Rotten Ruin as well. That one was a good zombie book.
Yeah. Did you guys read Higson's The Enemy series with it's
Oh,
only people over
oh,
the age of
right,
18
no.
who get it afflicted with the zombie disease? It's like the perfect rebellious youth book because they have to kill the adults. But sorry.
It's like a dark John Hughes film from the 80s.
Right. Right. 16 zombies. I don't know.
Yeah, 16 zombies. The what is it? The Zombie Club
The
instead
Zombie
of the Breakfast
Club.
Yeah.
The Flesh.
I mean, I could
Fist
imagine that you would
Club.
have your
No.
nerdy, you would have your nerdy zombie, you would have your cool leather wearing zombie, you could have your Molly Ringwald zombie with the, you know, the
pretty
prim
girl.
and proper hair. You would have your who was, you see, Judd, there was Judd Nelson, there
The
was
goth zombie.
oh yeah, the Ali Sheedy
Sheedy.
zombie, the one that was
Yeah.
all wearing, yeah, the emo goth kind of thing.
Yeah. And the
That would be
sporty
fun.
one, the Emilio Estevez sporty guy.
Oh yeah,
Jock.
the sporty zombie. Yeah, of course. Yeah. None of those guys aged well though. They kind of remind me of zombies now. poor guys. poor people. Well, it's all those years in front of the silver screen and their makeup and whatnot. I can't imagine that's good for them.
Yeah. Well, do we have any final books to wrap up our conversation about Start the New Year with a Bang? Any final New Year books?
I feel like I should end with a zombie love story, thus combining all our meanings of bang together. I mean, who doesn't love warm bodies? I mean, he's a zombie, but
He's a zombie.
but that
Zombies
girl.
are cold though, and they're stinky. I think they're a little bit less than warm and cuddly.
But love helps unzombify him to
Oh.
a certain extent.
Well, I have read a couple of zombie love stories actually. There was one, I can't remember the name of it, but I read it a few years back, where a high school girl becomes a zombie but she's in love with another kid who I don't know, it was weird. I mean, it was another first person I'm a zombie kind of thing. And I don't remember the name of the book, to be honest with you, but she becomes a zombie and the boy that she's in love with becomes a zombie, and sort of they're like a Bonnie and Clyde of zombies. It's kind of, I don't think it was
Zombie
really
and Clyde. All the bad puns are coming out today.
I tend to read all the weird stuff. So
That's okay. So in the vein of dead, but not really dead, so undead, the adoration of Jenna Fox, like she's dead, but not dead. And what is going on? And also weird and also wonderful.
yeah.
So I guess it's not zombie, but it's
That's a perfect place to end. Let's hope 2021 is weird and wonderful, but weird and wonderful, not weird and terrible like 2020 has been.
And let's hope that 2020 isn't like the zombie and comes back from the dead.
Oh gosh.
Because I don't think we could do 2.0.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing or stop recording. And